Okay, so hopefully you can see my my SkyTrack picture there. Probably not super good, but talking a little bit more about aiming in the golf swing. So, you know, we've all gotten information about whether your feet should be parallel to the, to the ball instead of don't aim your feet at the target. That's supposed to fix something, but think about it logically. If the degree of difference between aiming your feet at a target like 200 yards away and aiming parallel would be aiming your feet 3 feet left of that target, right? You're 3 feet away from the ball, it's 3 feet left. It's nothing. It doesn't mean anything. So, what is aiming? And what is direction in a golf swing? So, I think most people fall into an intuitive trap that I did, which is you think, well, if I swing this way, the ball's going to go that way, and if I swing this way, the ball will go that way. And then recently people have started to realize what all that information isn't correct. So what path does is controls the shape of your shot, and what actually controls the direction of your shot is just this orientation of the club face. So I'm going to do a little experiment. We'll see how I do. Probably won't be perfect, but I think it's kind of an interesting thing. So I'm going to do a variety of shots. First I'm going to get a decent motion going here. So don't ever change that. If you get a good motion, don't ever change the motion. You can change other things, but don't change that. So set up here, kind of in my normal, how I would be. We'll do one first there. I hit a little thin, but probably pretty straight. I know I can't see the monitor. I'm guessing that's pretty much down the middle. Now, we do the same thing. See if you can pick out what I'm keeping the same. So, this is the same thing, but I'm going to set up pretty differently. I'm going to set up my feet probably 60 degrees that way. Let's see if I can still basically hit a square shot. Okay. And again, I can't see what's happening, but my feeling was that wasn't too bad. Now, we'll try the other one. We'll try again. I'm going to stand very much this way. And let's see if I can still, from this position, get a pretty straight shot. That one I did pull a little bit. We'll try it again. It's very open, so you would think I'm pointing there, right? So, I just have to get the matchup right. So I can stand way open if I move the ball back there for me. Let's see if I can do this now. That was probably pretty good. So, what am I making consistent? So it's obviously not this. It's not forward and back. What am I doing? How do you aim? How do you figure out where you're aimed? You figure out so somewhat through motion, I believe. So feel where your motion is going. But then, if I put this club face down, and I create this one element right here, which is this line to the ball, where the club face is pointing, knowing where that is in my arc, then I can move all these other things around, and that doesn't change my aim, right? So this is where you're doing it. This, where your grip is, where that is, how that matches your path then. If I get in the right place, and my path is coming into the ball, that's going to be square, my path is relatively square, then you can do a lot of different things, and it's not bad practice because it quickly eliminates all these misconceptions about aiming, which we all have, right? We hit it over there, and then we go, oh, they said you should do this. I look, and I was aimed way far to the left, and of course I hit the ball there, right? That's not where aiming is taking place. It's this line. If you move that, you move your aim too. But let's say you're relatively consistent with this position, this line, and what the club face is doing. And once you figure that, so if you try this as an experiment, go around and do all your things, and it starts to get into your head, oh, this is what's aiming right here. That part. And then understanding the relationship of your path to your club, this is useful as well. So this is just ingraining, and obviously you can play shot shapes, but what this is naturally ingraining is hands being square to path. So that's a straight ball, right? So my personal belief is if you could hit a straight ball all the time, you probably wouldn't have much use except to get out of trouble for other shots, because unless you're trying to get around a dog leg and you're long and you do those things, then your shape is worthwhile. But most of the time a straight ball is a better option. Think about if you're hitting down the middle of a fairway. If you think I can just aim right down the middle, and then when it bounces, it's not going to be going somewhere. It's going to go forward always of my line. So I think that's advantageous if you can get to that. And it doesn't have to be perfectly straight, but I think pretty tough to play with a very consistent shot shape that is very broad. Most people play draws and fades that are really good. They're draws and fades, but they're small. They're not hooks and slices, right? So anyway, work on feeling this relationship, and then work on how do I place that relationship. So I can do the same thing with this. I can place now that relationship with very different foot orientation and still be doing the same thing and ingraining that this is the thing. Attend to how this is hinging, tend to your path, tend to where your hands are, and then you have some control.